Hello guys, welcome back to Profit Quest. My name is Adarsh Kannapan, and today we will be starting Unit 3, Credit and Debt. So, a lot of this unit is going to be focused upon taking out a loan, as that builds debt. So what are you actually doing when you're taking out a loan? When you take out a loan, you're borrowing money from a lender or a bank. So that money isn't necessarily yours. You're going to have to pay it back at some point with a little bit added interest. We'll talk about that. To take out a loan, one may need a proof of income to identify that they truly can pay back a loan within the deadline given by the lender or bank. A proof of identity to ensure that the money that the bank or lender is providing is actually going to the person that they think it's going to. We would need a certain credit score because it would allow us, a certain credit score would allow banks to accurately assess our reliability when it comes to affairs such as loaning or paying back debt. We'll talk about that later, and you might not need this at some banks, but you might at some other banks. And finally, a proof of residence to maybe specify certain reasons as to why you're paying or why you're taking out a loan, so they know that the money that they're giving you is going towards whatever you're saying. So, for example, let's say you have to pay back a bill on a house, and you take out a loan. They might need your proof of residence to know, okay, he's actually paying back the bill. He's actually paying the bill for the house that he said he is with this loan. So, taking out a personal loan could have many effects. First, it provides with a short-term cash inflow. This can be extremely beneficial if you need to pay something off at that instant and you don't have the funds to do it. A short-term cash inflow is essentially saying, okay, you get the money that you applied for the loan for, you get that money, and then you use it for whatever you need to use it for. However, this short-term cash inflow comes with acquisition of debt. So if you don't know what capital and interest debt is, capital debt is the amount of loan you applied for. So 2,000, you'd have to pay back the 2,000. But interest builds upon that 2,000, making it so that you have to pay back more than 2,000 when you pay the full loan, which gives the bank a little bit of profit for providing you the service of paying a loan. It might change your credit score. So if you fail to pay a debt back within a specific deadline, it could negatively affect your credit score and bring it down, reducing your reliability among banks all over the world. But if you pay the debt back consistently within the deadline given to you, then it would increase your credit score and increase your reliability with banks. It may also come with origination or prepayment fees, which are essentially fees that banks calculate and add in to the taking out of a loan to account for the services provided by calculating and distributing out your money. So for example, if I take out a loan of $2,000, then the banks might add a $100 origination fee, meaning that I pay $2,100 as my capital debt, but I'm actually only getting $2,000 from the loan. Finally, banks may require you to surrender certain objects as collateral. So collateral is when you fail to pay back a loan, and as a result, a bank starts to acquire things you put as collateral, such as cars or houses. So if you fail to pay back a loan of $2,000, for example, the bank might take your car and acquire it for themselves or land or your house until you come to the financial means of paying back your loan. So thank you guys. This was the first part of Unit 3. We will expand a little bit on debt accumulation later, so what capital and interest debt really is, and more on credit cards.